Hey everybody, Drutter here. 9th of June 2025. Just want to walk through the garden here briefly before I say something else. That's my apple tree. It's 2 years old now. And that's oregano down there. Bushy. I've already harvested it twice this year. Let's go down here. Well, let's go down this side. These are peas. They're going to be quite tall, about 6-8 feet tall, and there's some carrots next to that. That would be some blueberries. Just put those two in this year, so I don't know how much we'll get from them, but there's a lot of tomatoes in here, but it's just weeds at the moment. That's cucumbers. And then potatoes, lots of potatoes in here. Got some buckets of potatoes as well too. And lettuce. From my friend Bert. Salute to Bert. Rest in peace, buddy. Miss you. And more peas. These are also shelling peas, but they're not as tall as the other ones and not as big. And then there's some snow peas next, so those will be the ones that eat the pods. And then we got some Swedish red lettuce, some Russian garlic, more carrots, more tomatoes, more Bert's lettuce, strawberries, had a few of those now, and more tomatoes, they'll be up soon, row beans, green beans, more carrots, more Bert lettuce, and more beans. They're just about to come up, you can see, crackety crack, 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 coming up pretty soon there, and a Yugoslavian garlic. These are monsters. Really good. That's some super strong, strongest garlic I've ever tasted. It's so good. And more snow peas coming up. We'll be eating those probably in a couple weeks. And then this garden along here has some daffodils and a few other bulbs. And well, that's it for this part of the yard. I'm going inside. Alright, so this is something a little different. It's a story that happened to me and it came to mind. I'm not much of a storyteller, but I just thought I would give it a quick go, because it's, maybe interesting to some people. I guess to set it up, say that I had a cabin in the family, my grandfather and grandmother, who were very dear to me. Rest in peace, both of them as well. And back in the 80s, early 80s, when I was a little boy, I would go up there all the time. All the time, we went up there nonstop. And then, let's say about, when I was about 19, I guess it was, I started going up on my own, and became a different kind of adventure up there with me either just going alone or going with a friend or sometimes going with a bunch of buddies. We had all kinds of different trips up there, of course, but on this particular trip I was up there. My grandparents were still alive at the time, but they weren't there at the cabin. I was with my wife, current wife anyway. This was long ago, earlier in our relationship, quite early I guess, so well, I don't know, probably would have been even before 2010, I think it probably happened. I'm not sure exactly, I may have some footage of it though, somewhere. Because I always take video clips of just about everything I do, but anyway, probably somewhere. But I'm just going to turn this music down a bit. It's a great song. Was up with Katie, my now wife, and before we had kids, of course, and grandparents not there but still alive, and things were a little different then. Won't go into it, but life life was different. It was before I was sick, for example. When I turned 40, I got sick. That's almost 10 years ago now, and I've had health problems and surgeries and stuff ever since, and no real explanation for any of it. But before all that, up at the cabin, had a day of maybe fishing or swimming. And then around the campfire, had a sauna, campfire, maybe some drinks, maybe a few hits off the pipe. And then we were just fooling around, being silly. I don't remember who else was there, but my wife and I, Katie and I, went off together as young couples often do. And we were just playing around and being silly out in the forest. And we, not a care in the world, I guess you could say. And we ended up stumbling upon a neighbor's cabin. We went a little too far in one direction, I guess, or something. And they were there, actually. Sometimes, you'll come upon a cabin and it'll be empty, of course, but they just happened to be up there that weekend too, I guess. And there was music coming from the place and singing. And it was just the two of them, this old couple, probably, 75 years old. Been going up there I remember they'd been going up there since I was a kid. And they were old even then. So anyways, they were up there singing, just hooting and hollering, probably drunk. Just having a blast together in their in their cabin. And I said to Katie, that's kind of sad. I hope that we don't end up like that. I hope that we have a much better future ahead of us than that. And looking ahead at our lives that were coming, and the world was a different place in the 2008 or whatever it was then, and I felt very optimistic, and I guess looking back on it, I guess I was a bit too optimistic because that cabin got sold just before my grandma died, which was a few years after my grandpa died. And I don't get to go up there anymore, and of course I've been sick, and I had a major debt, and I've had my driver's license taken away, and all kinds of bad stuff happened over the past, I'd say 10 years or so, 10, 12 years. And I missed that cabin. And I look back on saying that to Katie, saying, how sad that is of them to be there. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to 75 now. I really don't. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 51. I'm about to hit 50, I think. But I don't know, multiple problems all of a sudden and just no explanation for any of it. I'm fit, I'm healthy, I eat well, I take care of my health, I take vitamins and supplements, and it doesn't make any sense to me, but I've gotten very sick, and I've almost died a few times, and my heart was the last major scare, and I've had a surgery for that. So, but I've got to count my blessings, and that's something my grandma was big on, big on. Count your blessings. She just had simple things like that, and they were right. She was right about a lot of it, almost all of it, and that's one of them. Count your blessings, absolutely. If you don't count your blessings, please think about it. Please start doing it. We've got to have some gratitude for the things that are going right and have gone right, because not everything's gone wrong. Trust me, it can get worse. It can get way worse. It can get way worse than I've had it too. People have had it way worse than that. So count your blessings. And it's not just because it's good to be grateful and good to be thankful and have that, grateful heart or whatever. It's also a good way to live and to think, because you actually aim yourself toward better things constantly and better outcomes if you're living in a mode of gratitude all the time. It's easier said than done, but I would recommend it if you are able to, if you can work on that and put that into effect. It's worth it. And I think back on that. I wish I had that cabin. I wish I had my health again. I wish I was young again. I don't wish I was without children again. That's one of the things I love my children. So I don't want to say I want to go back to that time, but I do miss being healthy. I do miss having a vehicle and driving around and having some freedom and that's coming back because I got my debt figured out. I figured it out. I dealt with it, and I'm about to, pass my final road test and get, all that crap finally sorted out and get my government permission slips to be allowed to travel in a vehicle again and be the one pushing the buttons and turning the steering wheel. So I will be able to drive my disabled, crippled wife around, my 2 little children around to their, beavers and school and things and different stuff that they're going to be involved in, extracurriculars, sports, my medical appointments. It's really nice to be able to get around. I've learned how to walk. My knees are almost destroyed, bone on bone, pretty much. But I'll be hopefully be able to drive a little bit here and there soon. And so I really count my blessings, and that's definitely one of them. I've been able to change my life in the past little while since I got the heart surgery. Really changed things, and so I'm grateful for that. But and that story popped into my head again, and I thought of that. I just shook my head. I thought, if I could just go back to that moment, I would not say that. Not only not say that, I would not feel that. I would tell myself, don't just be grateful for what you have and enjoy it now. I know I did. I remember at the time I was happy, and I remembered to enjoy it, and I told myself, like, this is probably the good times right now. Used to, when you look back on this and say those are the good old days. That's when, I knew that when it was happening. So, but just you youngsters, you just count your blessings, live your life, and be grateful for everything as it comes. It only happens once, as far as I know. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.